Dude, the Lamenters are like the saddest thing in all of Warhammer. And it sucks because they're actually really nice guys. So the Lamenters are a successor chapter of the Blood Angel. And they were created in what was known as the Cursed Founding. And it looked like they didn't have any of the defects that other Blood Angels did. Like the Black Rage or a thirst for blood. But it turns out they had the worst flaw of all. Being supernaturally unlucky. Because they were members of the Cursed Founding, and many of the other chapters created this way ended up going heretic, they were feared, hated, and not trusted at all by other Space Marines. In one battle, they were completely abandoned by their brothers, forced to fight off a chaos invasion on their own, where they were absolutely slaughtered, with only about 200 of them surviving. This series of mistrust and unfortunate events would follow them forever. After rebuilding the chapter, their ship suffered a massive warp drive failure, killing a lot of them. They went to assist their only friends, the Astral Claws, but turns out they were heretics, and thus they were branded heretics as well. So they were slaughtered by the Minotaurs. They went on a penitent crusade and bumped into one of the largest Tyranid Hive fleets ever documented. So the Lamenters are the most unlucky Space Marines. And after suffering a ridiculous string of bad luck, they ended up in the path of Hive Fleet Kraken. And though they were instrumental in halting the advance of the Hive Fleet, they suffered unimaginable losses, with only about 4 companies worth of soldiers left alive. Later, they answered a call for help from the Ultramarines to help deal with an entire planet of orcs, known as Slaughterhouse III. Which is an appropriate name for an orc planet. The orcs had taken hundreds of thousands of human slaves. And the Lamenters volunteered to take the planet by themselves, because the Ultramarines' forces had been spread too thin. Once again, the Lamenters suffered ridiculous losses, and in the end were only able to save about 10% of the population of slaves. They ended up having to bomb the planet, to kill all the orcs and the slaves that were left behind. The Ultramarines called them heroes, but they refused their accolades because they didn't feel very heroic. In addition, one of their fleets got lost in the warp for 100 years, and after everything they had been through, the Black Rage and thirst for blood came back, meaning their string of misfortune had been for nothing. The story of the Lamenters is unbelievably sad, but there's one fact that makes it even sadder. The Lamenters are one of the only Space Marine chapters that truly cares about humanity. Most Space Marines see themselves as above baseline humans. Their duty is to the Emperor and their Legion, and protecting his creation, the Imperium, is important, but their duty to their Legion is above the needs of humanity. The Lamenters feel completely different. They truly cared about the lives of everyday citizens, and time again, they were willing to sacrifice themselves for their protection. Even though they were feared and hated, and suffered more than any other Legion, they never gave up or turned traitor. The mantra of the Lamenters is, "For those we cherish, we die in glory."